So welcome back guys, you are watching Rising Coders Era, and in this video we are going to talk about the insertion sort. So in this video we are going to know about the insertion sort, how does it works. We are going to see step by step explanation. Also we are just going to simultaneously write the pseudo code for the insertion sort, which is going to be the false code for this time. First of all guys, we are having an array, and here you can just see we are having 0 1 2 3 4, that is the index, and numbers inside it is 5 3 6 1 2 7. Now what will happen in insertion sort, what we do, we are just going to start the iterating the number from the first position. So first of all, what we are going to do, we are going to say that at this point we are going to have the I, and the I is going to be the 3 at first time. Okay, at the first iteration it will be 3, and what will happen, it will move up to 5. Okay, we are just going to say that the previous number present at the 0 index is going to be the j. Okay, so previous number is going to be j, and the value is, we are just going to check, we are just going to assume that the j is sorted part. We are going to say that j is sorted part. Okay, so what I will do, for better understanding, we will do one thing, we'll just take a red color, and you can just see. Okay, 1 minute, we will just make a size bold, and okay, so we are just going to say, okay, now I've just created a red line. Before this, we are just going to say that this part is sorted. Okay, from 1 index to 5 index, the values are unsorted. We are just going to compare them with the previous number. That means we are going to compare them with the j. All the time we are going to compare with the previous number, not the next number, because all the numbers present at the right side are unsorted, and all the numbers present at the left side we are going to say that are sorted. That means we are just going to compare with them, and we are going to work in this way. Okay, we will just see with the code and also the explanation. Right now we are going to see if the j value is greater than I, then we are just going to shift, not swap. We are going to do shifting over here. In this insertion sort we do one process, and that is shifting. We will just write the code, and we will just see all the concept, and we will sort this array using the insertion sort. Okay, over here, so first thing we have to create, and that is going to be the variable. We need the length of the array for this, because we are going to iterate from the 1 index to 5 index. To get the length of the array, we need to get the length of the array. So what we can do, we can just create here a variable int length is equal to, we are just going to store the value of the array length inside it. So we are just going to write length is equal to array.length, arr.length. Okay, so this is the pseudo code, so that we can just understand it. So we are having length is equal to array.length, so that we will get the length. Now if you see guys, what is the length of this? So length is going to be equal to, in this case you can just see we are having, in this case how many numbers we are having, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So 3 and 3 6 numbers are having, so it will be just 6 value will be holding inside the length variable. Now moving to the next step, we have to iterate the I. Okay, so we are just going to write for int I is equal to, we are just going to start from the index not 0, we are going to start from index number 1. Okay, because we are going to say that j is already sorted. So we are going to start from index number 1, and I should be less than length. Why I should be less than length? Because if you see here, we are having we are just starting the index from 1 to 5. And you can see the length value is 6, so it should be less than, so it will print up to 5. Okay, it will just iterate up to 5. So for that I should be less than length, that means I should be less than 6. Okay, so it will iterate up to 5, and it will start from 1. So in this way, and we are just going to write I++, because we want to iterate the next number. Now after completing this, we will have one variable, and that is really important guys, we are just going to have, and that is going to be the key value. Key is going to be the array of I. It will be array of I. Okay, and at this point if you see, the key value is going to be I value, and that is going to be 3 number. Okay, for right now it is 3. Okay, I will just place it over here so that this will be more understandable. Okay, so right now at this point you can just see the key value is 3, and another variable will be j. So we will write j is equal to, now if we talk about j is going to be I minus 1. So I minus 1. Okay, now j is going to be I minus 1. That means what we can say, if we compare right now I minus 1, so I minus 1, that means 1 minus 1. Okay, so it will be at the 0 index, and that is 5 for right now. Okay, for right now it is 5. So we get these two variables, we get the key, we get the j value. Okay, and we are just going to compare them. Okay, key is equal to 3, you can just see over here right now, key is equal to 3, and when it will be key is equal to 3, the number present at one index is going to be blank. Right now the box is empty, so it is just stored inside the key variable. Now what will happen? We have to write here one condition. There will be a condition. Now when we talk about the condition, we need to use a while loop. Okay, because there are two conditions which we are just going to see right now. Come inside the while loop. Here there will be condition that we will compare array of j. We will just compare array of j, and if array of j is going to be greater than the key value. Okay, if array of j is going to be greater than the key value, then we are just going to do one process, and that is called as shifting. Okay, we are just going to shift it. We are just going to shift it at this point when the array value of j is greater than key. Right now you can just see 5 is greater than 3. Yes, 5 is greater than 3. So we are just going to shift it by one place. So what we will do, we will just say array of j plus 1. We will say array of j plus 1 is equal to the array of j. What we will say, array of j plus 1 is equal to array of j. Right now you can see the j value is present at 0 index, so it will be 0 plus 1. That means it will move at the 1 position, and the value is going to be shifted. Now you can just see over here, we are just having the 5 value. Okay, now what will happen when we talk about shifting? We have just write the code that j plus 1 is equal to array of j, so it will just move at this point. Okay, it will just move at this point, so you will get array of j plus 1 is equal to array of j. We are just going to shift the j to minus minus, so we are just going to move this j. You can just see over here we are having this j, we are going to move it to the previous number. Now here what will be the previous number? It will be minus 1. Previous number will be minus 1, and if we see in the minus 1 position, there is nothing present. The array is starting from 0, and at minus 1 position there is nothing. So what we will do now, when we are just shifting this, we are just going to write here one more step at this point, and that is going to be j minus minus, because we need to compare it with the previous number. We will just add one more condition because index is going out of bound. You can just see. So for that we are just going to add here one condition. You can just see over here we are just going to add inside while loop, and that is going to be condition that j should be all the time greater and it should be equal to 0, and the second condition should be true. Okay, both of the conditions should get true, so that I'm just going to use here and. Okay, so when we are just going to write this and, that means ampersand we are just going to use here, and both conditions, if they are going to be true, then only these conditions are going to execute, or it will just come outside the loop. And outside the loop we are just going to write the array of j plus 1. Array of j plus 1 is going to be equal to key, value. Okay, now array of j plus 1 is equal to key. Now you can just see j is greater than equal to 0. No, now the condition is getting false. You can just see j value for right now is minus 1. Okay, j is not equal to 0, and also it is not greater than 0, so it is getting false. This condition is getting false. So what we will do, we will come outside the loop, and we will say array of j plus 1 is equal to key. Array of j plus 1, that means minus 1 plus 1, it will be 0, and at this point we just need to place the value which is 3 over here. So what we will do, we will just place this value. So this 3 value, you can just see it will be placed at this index. So this is the condition. So we have just completed this. So in this way it will work. If the condition gets false, then this will work. Okay, array of j plus 1 is equal to key. Basically by default we need to place it at this point only, because array is of only this much size. It is not having minus 1 number. Okay, so we need to place it over here. Now what will happen after completing this? Okay, we have just completed it. We have just completed this array of j plus 1 is equal to key. We have just placed it over here. Now we will just move again in the loop, and now the I value is been just updated, and I is going to be equal to 2 at this point. Okay, I'm just going to change this, so it will be 2 for right now, and we are just going to update this as well. So what I will do, I will just move the array value which is present over here. It will move one step further. Okay, right now it will move first one step further, and these positions we are just going to remove for right now. Okay, now what will happen, guys? What will happen? We are just going to say that, okay, I will just move this over here. After coming at this point, j is going to be your I minus 1. Now when j is going to be your I minus 1, what will happen, guys? This j present over here, it will be coming at this point. That means 5. That means j is equal to I minus 1. That means here the value is going to be 5 only, and the array of I is now just updated to the index number 2, that is 6. Is 5 greater than 6? Now here the condition comes that array of j, Okay, the first condition is array should be greater than or equal to 0. So you can just see the array index number is 1. So it is greater than, okay, so the first condition is true. We'll move to the second condition. Array of j is greater than key. So if you see array of j is not greater than key, so the second condition here gets false. Now when this condition is going to get false, when the second condition is going to get false, we are going to end this loop. We are not going to see what is present inside this loop. So we will come outside this loop and we will see that array of j plus 1 is equal to key. So what will happen? Basically this key value was present over here inside the key variable. Okay, it was present inside this right now. You don't have to do anything because array of j plus 1, that means you can just see 1 plus 1 you will get 2. Okay, so it will present at this point only. Now this will after completing this, we will just move again, and right now the I value is going to be 3. Now let's move this again, and this I value is going to shift, is going to be iterate, and after iterating you know that j is going to be j is equal to I minus 1. So it will be at this point. You can just see the I value is 1 at this point and j is 6. Now is 6 greater than 1? Yes, 6 is greater than 1. So it will just take all these conditions. For right now I value is 1. I'm just going to change it over here. I value is 1 and the j value is just getting updated, that is 6. And when it will be 6, we will just see j is greater than equal to 0. Yes, the j value is 2 and it is greater than 0. The first condition is true. We will move to the second condition. Array of j is greater than key. Okay, is 6 greater than 1? Yes, it is greater than 1. So it will move inside this loop. So what will happen guys over here, what we will do, we will just move this inside the key variable. Okay, this is just plus over here. And we will say that array of j plus 1 is equal to array of j. Now array of j plus 1, that means 2 plus 1, it will be 3. And it is over here. And j will be minus minus at this point. So this j will be moving at this point. That means at this position. Now you can just see j is just updated. So I'm just going to make it 5. Now is 5 greater than 1? 5 is greater than 1. 5 is greater than 1. So what will happen? 5 is greater than 1. You can just see over here. This condition gets true. And this is also true that j is greater than 0. Okay, it is 1. So array of j plus 1 is equal to array of j. Array of j plus 1, that means 1 plus 1 you will get 2. And this is going to be at this point. Then we will move again j minus minus. J minus minus, that means it will move from here to here. Okay, so j will be again minus minus. Okay, so we will just move it at this point. We will just move it at this point. When we will move this at this point, you can just see j is just updated to the value, and that is going to be 3 over here. Okay, j is 3 right now. J is 3 right now, and the key value is 1 only. Okay, so is 3 greater than 1? Yes, 3 is also greater than 1. So you can just see it is greater than 1. 3 is greater than 1. And j is also greater than equal to, that means j value is equal to 0. So this condition will work again. Then array of j plus 1 is equal to array of j, that means 0 plus 1 you will get 1. So it will be at this point, and we will do j minus minus, that means our j will come at this point, that is going to be minus 1. Now when j is going to be at minus 1, we just have to end the loop, but you can just see this is the condition. J is going to be greater than equal to 0. So it is not greater and it is also not equal to 0. So it is minus 1. That means the number is negative. So we will come outside the loop and this condition will run. Array of j plus 1 is equal to key. Array of j plus 1, that means minus 1 plus 1 you will get 0, and the key value will be at this point. Okay, this will be at this point. Okay, array of j plus 1, that means minus 1 plus 1 you will get at this point. Now this is done. We will just move inside the loop and we will just move to the next step. That means we will just iterate to the next number, and that is 4. So your I value will just be updated at this point. J is going to be I minus 1, that means 4 minus 1, and it will be 6. Okay, it will be 6. So let me make this 6, and let me make this array of I, that is right now for 2, and we just updated to 4. Now is j is greater than equal to 0. Okay, what will happen? We will just do one thing. This 2 will be present inside the key, and you can just see right now again the j value is greater than key. 6 is greater than 2. So we will just shift it. We will just shift this number to the next number. Then we will shift this j to the previous number, which is going to be j minus minus. Okay, this will be j minus minus. Okay, you know j minus minus. Now again we will just compare. Okay, right now the j will be, you can just see it will be 5 again, and the value will be as it is. 5 is greater than 2. Then we will do one thing. Okay, 5 is greater than 2. After that what we will do, we will just move inside this loop. Array of j plus 1 is equal to j. So we will move at this point. J will be minus minus, so it will move at this point. then 3 is again greater than 2. 3 is greater than 2. Okay, 3 is greater than 2. Yes. So we will just put it over here. And we will just shift j with minus minus. And we will see that the value the value is not greater than key. Value is not greater than key. 1 is not greater than 2. So it will just move at this point. Array of j plus 1 is equal to key. That means the key value present over here, it will be pasted over here. Pasted, or you can just see inserted. We are just going to insert it. Then after doing this, we have just completed the loop. We will just move again to the next step, and I is going to be right now this time 5, which is the last number present over here, and we will just move I at this point, and j is going to be your I minus. That means it will move at this point. Now when this will happen, we will just compare whether j is greater than key. Okay, this condition I'm not checking it because we know that it is greater. J is greater than 0. Okay, so is j greater than key? Is j greater than key? No, it is not greater. So is 6 greater than 7? 6 is not greater than 7. So this will happen. Array of j plus 1 is equal to key. That means array of j plus 1, that means 4 plus 1, it will be 5, and it will be present at this point only. After completing one iteration, the array is going to sort it, and you can just see the sorted array. Right now you can just see some numbers are up and some numbers are down, but they are sorted. Okay. Alright guys, and in notes also I have just given one example. You can just read this example. Okay, everything is written over here, step by step everything is written. So after just revising this, it will be more clear to you guys. This will be inside description, you can just get over there. Right now we will just move to the theory, but before moving to the theory, let's see the steps what we did. Consider the first element of the array as the sorted part. We are just going to say that the j element present at the 0 index will be sorted part. The remaining elements are unsorted part. Okay, we are just understand about this. J is going to be your I minus 1 and key is going to be 2 at this point for this array. Okay, iterate over the unsorted part. We are just going to iterate from for this unsorted part. Start from second index. We are just going to second element which is present at index 1. We are going to iterate from that. Pick and compare. We are just going to pick some value and we are just going to compare with the previous value. Okay, for each element in the unsorted part, compare it with the element in the sorted part starting from the end of this sorted part. Shift elements. We are going to shift all elements in the sorted part that are greater than the picked element one position to the right. So everything is written guys, you can just get it inside the description. Insert the element, insert the picked element at the correct position with all elements to its left should be smaller. Okay, if you just see over here at this point 5, the left element will be smaller and the right element is greater. Okay, so here we are having definition 1. Insertion sort is a simple and intuitive comparison based sorting algorithm. It works by dividing the list into a sorted and unsorted region. We are just dividing it. Okay, in sorted and unsorted region. Now you got the point. What is the sorted? It will be the left side basically, and unsorted will be the right side. Elements from the unsorted region are picked and placed at the correct position in the sorted region. Insertion sort is one of the best sorting technique. It is twice as fast as bubble sort. In insertion sort, the element comparison are as less as compared to bubble sort. In this comparison, the value until all prior elements are less than the compared values is not found. This means that all previous values are lesser than the compared value. Insertion sort is good choice for small values and for nearly sorted values. Let's move over here. We will talk about the time complexity. For average case, the time complexity is O of n square. And for worst case also similar, big O of n square.